everybody. I'm Carlin. Welcome back to yoga. Today's class is a quick, gentle stretch. We'll take the entire class seated. There are no weight-bearing postures, no planks, no downward facing dog. So this class is perfect if you're working with any injuries in the. And you can also take this class however you want. So if you want it to be a little bit more meditative and restorative, you can take class in a quiet space, find your breath, connect with your headspace, kind of clear your mind. Or sometimes when I just need a good stretch, I will take these stretches while I'm listening to a podcast or watching TV. So whatever your body needs right now, we will begin in a seated position. And like I said, we'll continue all of class in a seated position. So whenever you're ready, you can go there. Ideally, for these stretches, we want to find a cross-legged position. If that's not necessarily comfortable in your body, you can always take a blanket, you can fold it up into a square and stick it underneath your seat. A little bit more support for your hips, a little bit more leverage. But if you're comfortable here, just close your eyes. We'll just start by taking 3 deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just one more. In class today, we're going to work our way all the way from the head to the feet with the different stretches that we do. So let's start with the neck. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder, just gently. Depending on where you hold tension in the body, I hold lots of tension in the upper body. You might feel this right away. If you need a little bit more, you can take the left fingertips out at a diagonal line. This will take this stretch all the way from the neck down to about the elbow. And if you want this stretch in the wrist and the forearm as well, you might flex the hand as if you're pressing the palm into something, and you'll really feel it in the fingers, the forearm, the wrist. Take 2 more breaths here. And then start to come back to center just with the head. Keep the hand where it is, and then plant the hand outside of the left hip. Take the right arm up and over the head, and take a side body stretch, leaning to the left, elongating the right side of the body. And if you're taking this more meditative version of class, no reality TV in the background, you might imagine your breath moving up the right side of the body, creating space. And if you feel you have the space and you can keep the right seat planted, you might come all the way down to the left forearm. Not a requirement, but certainly an option. Maybe you spiral that right pinky down. Last breath. And then from here, keep that left foot bent in. I'm going to come back to my left hand, and I'm going to take my right foot out to the top right corner of the mat. Now I'm taking my right forearm to the inside of the right leg and taking the left arm up and over the head. So from here, we're taking another side body stretch, this time a little bit deeper on the left side of the body. And instead of reaching for the right toes, think about reaching past the right toes. Again, keeping that left seat glued to the ground, elongating the left side of the body this time. And just breathing. One more breath here. And then we're going to square the torso over the right leg and just take a gentle forward fold over that right leg. The hands don't even have to reach for the foot. They can if you'd like, but you can just place the hands on either side of the shin, the knee, or the thigh, and just kind of round forward, maybe tucking the chin to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck, allowing the shoulder blades to separate from one another. One more breath here. And then gently make your way back up through center and back to that seated position, just crossing the right leg underneath or on top of the left leg. And we're back in that cross-legged seat. In between sides, we're going to take some seated cat-cows. So on the inhale, you're going to bend at the elbows, puff the chest out, and arch the lower back, maybe looking up. And then on the exhale, you're going to tuck the chin, round through the spine, straighten the arms, creating a C shape with the spine. Inhale, puff at the chest, bend the elbows. Find that C-shaped spine. Move with your breath. So we found that lateral side body bend in the spine. Now we're finding flexion and extension, moving the spine in all three ways, especially if it's at the beginning of your day, is super beneficial for the health of your spine and your back. Just another round or two here, depending on how quickly you're moving. And when you're ready, just gently make your way back through center. And then we'll take all of that on the other side. So start by taking your left ear to the left shoulder. You'll begin to feel this in the right side of the neck. If you want a little bit more, you can take the right fingertips out at a diagonal line. You'll start to feel the stretch in the upper arm all the way down to about the elbow. And if you want this stretch to go all the way to the fingertips, you can flex those right fingertips so they reach up to the sky and press the heel of the hand to the right side. Just breathe here, nice and gentle. One more breath. And then bring the head back up through center. Take the right hand to the outside of the right hip and lift the left fingertips up and over the head, finding that side body stretch. Keep pressing down into the left seat. And again, if you have space, you can come down to the right forearm. And as I come down here, I'm noticing my left seat starts to lift off of the ground. So I'm going to come back up to my hand on this side. One more breath. And then come back to the right hand if you haven't done so already. Keep that right knee bent and take the left leg out to the left side. And then bring the left forearm inside of the left leg and the right arm up and over the head. Again, don't think about reaching for the left toes. Think about reaching beyond the left toes. We want to focus this stretch in the right side of the body. You'll even feel this a little bit in the back. You can spiral the right pinky down, look up. Just breathing here. One more. And then as you're ready, squaring the torso over the left leg this time and just folding forward. You can round through the spine. The hands can frame the knee, the shin, the thigh. And if you'd like, you can tuck the chin to the chest, stretching out the back of the neck, the upper back, while also stretching out the hamstring and the calf as you flex the left toes towards the face. One more breath. And then when you're ready, come back up through center. We'll get into the inner thighs and the quads, bringing the soles of the feet to touch. And then just folding forward, finding your Baddha Konasana. So if you're still looking for more in the upper back and the neck, you can round forward as I am here, creating a little bit more of a wide diamond shape with the legs. But if you want this to focus more on the inner thighs, you'll keep the spine long. You'll bring your heels really close to your pubic bone, and you'll just hinge forward, keeping a nice long spine. And the feet will be more closed together rather than like an open book. And as you hinge forward, you'll really feel the stretch in your inner thighs. Maybe you use your elbows to press your legs a little bit closer to the ground. Nice steady breaths. 2 more here. And as you're ready, come back through center and we'll get into the quads, bending that right knee, bringing the top of the right foot down to the mat and bringing the left leg out in front of you. There should be about a fist width distance worth of space in between the inner left thigh and the right leg. So from here you can stay. This might be enough of a stretch in the quad. If you want a little bit more, you can come down to the elbows, and I start to feel my quad stretching out a lot more here. And if you want, you can come all the way down to the back. If you're like me and it's early in the day, this will probably be plenty. So I'm gonna stay right here. Nice deep stretch in my quad, the front of my right leg. One more breath. And then make your way out of this posture the same way that you came into it. I'm coming back up onto my hands and then switching out the legs, taking the right leg out in front of me, bending at the left leg so that the top of the foot comes down to the mat. Again, about a fist's worth distance of space between the left leg and the right. So don't worry about what you've done on the other side. Maybe this is plenty for this side. Maybe you need to go a little bit deeper on this side. I'm going to move up slightly. Maybe you come down to the forearms. And this is enough for me, again, on this side early in the morning. If you want, you can come all the way down to the back. This is a pretty intense pose, so even if you're completely upright, you might be getting a really deep stretch here. Just breathe. One more breath. And then again, come out of it the same way you came into it, coming back up onto my hands, and then taking both legs in front of me. We'll end with a forward fold here. We'll take 2 forward folds actually. So to begin, I'm gonna take my hands outside of my hips and just find some flexing and pointing of the toes. Like I said, we're gonna stretch all the way down to the feet, so this should feel really good in the ankles and the toes. Maybe as you point the toes, you squeeze them close together, maybe even curling them slightly. And then as you flex them, maybe you spread them nice and wide, stretching them out. Couple more just like that, flexing and pointing. As you point, you'll feel a stretch in the top of the shin. And as you flex, you'll feel this more in the back of the leg and the calf. And then maybe you find some circles with the ankle. I like to lift one leg up at a time, using some hip flexor strength to do this. And then taking it to the other side. And if you are lifting the leg, try and keep your body nice and upright instead of leaning back. And then we'll take our 2 forward folds, flex the toes towards the face. Inhale, reach the fingertips up to the sky. And then exhale, hinge forward. Think about the chest moving towards the thighs, the nose moving towards the shins, and you'll really start to feel this in the hamstrings. When you find that point where you can't move further anymore, just take the hands to wherever they land, focusing here on keeping the spine nice and long, keeping the gaze past the toes, and take 3 breaths here. Last one. Beautiful, and then gently make your way back through center. Take a moment here, reset between sides. And then we'll take another forward fold, reach up. Exhale, hinge forward, keeping the spine nice and long. And this time, maybe you reach for something. Maybe it's your shins, your ankles, maybe it's the sides or the tops of the feet. And this time we'll just let ourselves fold forward, thinking nose to knee. 3 breaths here. And then as you're ready, gently come out of it. And we'll come back to a seated position, same place where we started class. Just take a moment, notice if there's any differences in the body. My legs are feeling kind of noodly right now. It's a pretty good feeling. And just come back where we were, close your eyes. And just like we started class, take 3 deep breaths. Last one here. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you all for practicing with me. Thanks for participating in that nice, gentle stretch. Let me know how it goes in the comments below, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Namaste.